Hi everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you're joining us from. It's me now, but the us are coming. So it's good to be here, and we're continuing our series on the complete woman. And I look forward to everyone that will join us today to do this program. I've been silently praying, praying that the noise from nowhere, the person that cuts the grass came in and the noise has been much. So I have to talk about mothers for the Complete Woman series. I decided to wear my Complete Woman t-shirt today. Hey, Fala Kemi. Fala Kemi, yeah.
Hi, Mama.
How are you?
I
I'm
hope you
trying
can hear
to.
me very well.
Yes, I can hear you. I hope you can
Okay.
hear me too because I'm using my earpiece and this is like the first time I'm doing that.
You are good to go.
Okay, I have to bring the earpiece in. I'm like, you know what, Timmy Lane is here.
Hi.
Good. I've been doing serious prayer here. The noise of the lawnmower has been crazy. I said, you know what? If I continue like this, I'll be praying. Let me use faith and put my earpiece. So I hope you can all hear me
Yes.
very well.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
clear.
Okay, so good to have you here for Kemi.
Thank
Hey,
you, Mama
and good
B.
to have you, Timmy Lane. So
Yay!
for Kemi, this is Timmy Lane, and we
Hi,
work. Yes,
Timmy.
Hello,
so
ma.
she's my co-host. We work together, and she's got
Okay.
a lot of how will I say it now? She's the tough lady questions. So when I bring
Ah,
some
Thank you
topics, she's
so much,
asking those
Coach
questions and
Timmy.
everything. So Simile is here,
yes.
and I'm glad to have her here, and I'm glad to have you here for
Thank you,
Lakemi. As I was
Mama
thinking
B.
about this topic, two people came to mind. It was you and Mama Ini.
Okay.
Mama Ini. So I'm like, okay, how do we do this? Next week, we're going to have more guests because we will use
Okay.
more of the complete women. It's going to be the complete woman
Okay.
series. What
Okay.
have they gained being part of it? So we'll get some of our sisters to come in to
Okay.
be part of that. But today, before we continue, if you are just joining us for the first time, my name is Bridget Leshin. They call me Coach Bridget. And for me, what do I do? I'm a marriage and family dynamics coach and also a mental health practitioner. So I help people enjoy their life, marriage, and family. So I've been doing that. I am all about enjoyment. And for me, it's what I do best. You know how Jesus said, I came so that they will have life and have it in abundance. I'm here. I exist to help you enjoy the life that you have and enjoy the marriage and family that you desire. So that's what I've been called to do. And I'm glad to be here. We've been doing this for over like 8 weeks now, more than I
Yeah,
think about
Oh,
eight
wow.
weeks.
more than
Yes.
8 weeks.
Wow.
So we
Wow.
just, yeah, we decided to start like, you know what? Some people will say, oh, to pay for a coach is drama. So pay for your data and come and learn for free. And we do this every
Hmm?
week. We've had different series, and last month was for men, this month for women, and we'll keep at it. The first time we started was for singles, and we're just teaching singles what to look out for, how to be quality people, and all the things to do. So we're on this journey together. So Timile, introduce yourself and we'll let our guest introduce herself and we'll get right in.
Thank you, ma. Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on wherever you're watching from. My name is Oluwatimileni Achibari. I am a psychologist. I'm your difficult conversation girly.
Yeah.
I I love helping people navigate through life and just be whole individuals. Just like Coach said, I'm all about mental health, be an awesome individual, and enjoying life to the fullest. And of course, I am a Jesus baby. Yes.
Yes. We must not forget to say that. We are women of faith, and for us, talking about God is normal for us. Okay, I think for Lakemi's video, I think a network. I hope she comes back because she's next in the introduction so that she will introduce herself and tell us what she does. I know some of the things that she is, but I want her to say it by herself. Hope you come back for Lakemi. I know how the network can act up sometimes. So why the godmother topic? Why the godmother topic? Why we wait for our guests, for Lakemi Jegede to come on? Why are we having this conversation on godmothers? And just going through the series, Complete Woman series, I found out in my own life that having, women, strong women, supportive women, encouraging women around me has helped me. I grew up with my mother and her friends, and most of them were far older. I'm the first of 8 children. And so I grew up with my mom and her friends, and most of them, okay, let me do that. She's back. Sorry about the network. It happens. I'm trying to add you back. I'm trying to add you. I've invited you. I pray you can join. And the network. Hey, you're back. Network, I know.
Yeah. Apologies again.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So introduce yourself.
All right. Let me first start with Mama B. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I don't take it for granted at all.
Thank you.
And to Sister Timilei, the coach. Nice to meet you. All right. So my name is Folakemi Jegede. I am a lawyer, a legal practitioner, and I'm centered on excellence, ethical practices for businesses and individuals. I'm a family life practitioner. I believe that you can enjoy a good marriage and even as a career woman. And I'm girl's girl. I believe that every woman, you can get to the uttermost potential that God has given you. And I believe that God is the center of everything, as our creator. So as I am here, I'm ready to give my own quota because sincerely, this is well needed in our generation of today. People need to know how to navigate life. People are not finding it very easy. And if you have lived one life, you should know that someone can learn from the little that you think you have lived, because everybody has something.
Oh, your network, check your sound. Folakemi, you're back.
Okay.
Check. Yes, you are back.
Okay, I'm excited to be here, and I don't take this for granted at all. Thank you again for having me.
Okay, we're glad to have you. And you've started well by saying somebody has lived, a kind of life that you want, that you desire. So why are we having this godmother conversation? There are a lot of ladies I follow online. Some are role models I look up to in ministry, in business, as a person. And for me, I have been big on it right from my young age. And I keep telling people, I discovered purpose to a certain extent early in life. And I just told myself, read up the people that you believe in ministry. I've always known somehow I'll be in ministry, but I didn't know the extent. So I was praying. My mom got married quite early as a teenager, and being the first child, I grew up with her. So I saw women go through struggles in their marriage and go. They didn't think, okay, this girl is a young girl. Why is she in our midst? They would talk freely. So I learned just by staying beside her and just learning from her friends and the things I know, her friends she's now 70, her friends are in their 70s, some have long passed on and everything, but I learned a lot from them. And then growing up, I also had women I looked up to. In church, I had people that mentored me, through life, relationship, business, so I have seen and I've been privileged. I'm a woman helped by God and the many people that God has brought into my life. I believe in coaches, in mentors. I have been like that. Some people don't believe in it. Some people feel it's not necessary. So why am I coming to you, Folakemi? Because I know you to a certain extent, and I know that as a career woman, you are a lawyer. As a career woman, you've had people, hold the door for you to pass through. I know that in ministry, you are passionate about family, you are passionate about a lot of things, and I've seen people open doors. And in the things that you do, people don't know many things that you do behind the scene. Folakemi is one woman that is a woman of many parts. So
I am a woman of many parts,
yes.
really, Mama B, because when people say I should introduce myself, I don't even know the aspect of where to introduce myself. And a lot of people will ask, how do you do these things? You are just giving. And in my children's school, the teachers will be like, I saw you online, I saw everything, and you are here again in the children's school. How do you balance all these things? Sincerely. And one thing from your what you have shared, one thing that is very certain is that every successful woman has a story. And behind many of those stories is another woman. However you think that story, that person is insignificant, because a lot of times we share our story and we forget the people that have helped us at one point in time on that way. Whether they have corrected us, whether they have encouraged us, whether they have challenged us, whether they have even opened the door for us, like Mama B said. And I should acknowledge here that Mama B is one of the people, boldly, that I can say that in the aspect of godmother, she has been there. And I'm grateful. My marriage is 15 plus. And I think I got to meet Mama B when our marriage was 5 years. So at least almost I've known Mama B for that long, 10 years, and I can say that, and I got married early. I got married at the age, immediately after my call, at the age of 23. So you imagine young married career person, young, a lot of people like, what do you know? They say 23-year-old, you are married. What do you know? But one of the things that I would say that has helped me is that God just placed people, women in my life at that particular time that I did not have to go through what they have gone through, because one of the things about godmother is that they are someone who appears to, they mentor you, they give you spiritual covering, they are trusted advisors, they give you a safe place, because you have opportunity that you learn from their experience. So you don't have to go through that, you understand? And that's one of the things that I benefited from. And as young as I think I am, because they said I should not be saying I'm young anymore, but I think I'm still young. You have opportunities to mentor people, because when you drink from people, you should allow people to drink from you. There should be a form of replication of what you have learned. And when it comes to godmothers, a lot of people, like for me, because I grew up in an Orthodox church, and a lot of the word godmother was used from baptism. They would say, okay, after they gave birth to you, this person is your godmother. For people like us that we did not really have that, people tend to, when you talk about godmothers, spiritual mothers, people tend to liken it to somebody that was assigned during baptism as your godmother. But we all know that it has passed through that, because a lot of people that were even there when they gave birth to you or during your baptism, they may not necessarily be part of your life, only if they are intentional about it. So, and for me, let me serve as an example. I remember one of my godmother is my spiritual mother, Pastor Sarah Kaya, and I remember when our marriage was 2 or 3, was she was just sharing, and she mentioned about the highest power a woman has is submission.
Yeah.
That submission, when you are submissive, you like God has given you a move button of your husband. But a lot of people, especially as a career woman, if you marry a man, especially in the early years of our marriage, you as a lawyer, it tends to, when I say something, my husband is coming from the perception of defensive angle, because everything we also believe that he's talking to a lawyer. So when I'm talking, he's already coming, no, 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 no. So it was looking like, this is going to be like a courtroom, or because of course, coming from where he's also coming from, from all understanding also, his friends will have to, you married a lawyer, no, you need to be. So he also trying to make sure that his position and is assertive and all that. It was looking like, what's going on here? So, but me being able to learn that submission is the highest power, Ellie, my sister, and everybody here, it has been the best thing for me. You just get things done well without struggling and all that. And I wouldn't have known that if she hasn't shared that. And that is something that I got to know very early in life, and it has really worked. Is it what Mama B, our October 1st? And do you understand many things that we have learned? What money cannot buy, I can tell you, because you have opportunity not only learning from the conveners, the team election, you have opportunity to learn from people that are even there as well, to share their experiences, and many relationships have been formed through this process. So why everybody needs a godmother, life can become confusing at one point in time. She helps you avoid unnecessary mistake. Even though there's this particular part of the Bible, is it Proverbs 15:22, that says that plan fails for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed. You cannot, of course, you cannot water down the position of godly counsel, especially in marriage. For me, see, I've journeyed in life about different things, and I'm grateful for. Is it when I was sick? I remember. Sorry, Mama B, I will still mention your name. And I remember that was 3 years ago that I was sick and everything. And on her own, and in the network, our network, they raised an altar for me. They prayed. I have an accountability that was praying, and Funke that was praying for me and everything. See, if she did not believe in me, if she's not there, because one of the attributes of a godmother is she prays for you. Some battles cannot be, you cannot handle it alone, especially even though that particular time that life seems lonely. It was looking like I was in a world of my own, lonely, and seemingly looks like, where is God? But there are people that God placed in your life at that point in time. It's just like Mordecai to Esther. She reminds her about purpose, about standing for her to make sure. See, let me share another thing. I remember, Mama B, you remember, was it 3 years ago that I was to talk at Wimbase, and she saw my flyer that I will be speaking at Wimbase, and Mama B said, see, I want to speak there, but for you to be going there, I'm celebrating already, because a godmother also celebrates your wins without competing. She feels fulfilled. Mama, you don't know, that word means a lot to me. That word means a lot to me, because you'll be like, I'm rooting for you while you are there, so
if you are there, I'm there already. That's the way I see.
That was what she said. They clap for you, they are rooting for you, even when you feel like, are you doing something? A lot of time when you do a lot of things, even you may be thinking, am I really doing something? But they are the ones that just cheer you on, and like you are actually doing, and you are helping people. you know. And for me, I said those are the people that are making part in my life, and to me or myself, I was like, I need to also do it for other women as well, raise other women as well, and be a blessing to them. I hope. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, yeah. I like that, but I'll give Simi Lane time to ask question. Why am I doing that? She's a far, far younger woman. She's single, and somebody introduced her to me, and the person is also like a godmother.
Okay.
She's somebody that looks out for me. I call her Mama. She's an older woman in my church, Mama Aladewolu. She looks out for
Okay.
me. She will send me clients. She will, like, even when we're discussing in a group, she will send things, privately messages. When I turn 50, I remember, you're 50 now, go. She sent me money.
Wow.
You understand? So I keep telling people, I say, sometimes I just wonder, why does this woman love me so much? But that's what you get. Cinderella had a fairy godmother. You know one thing.
Yeah.
And that story of Cinderella, the suffering and the godmother showed up. Yes, it's a story from somebody's imagination, but we have all come to love it growing up, reading that story and saying, okay, where's my fairy godmother? Where's my godfather? Or whatever it is. But what am I saying with this godmother story? It's for us to know that there are genuine people God will place in our paths to play roles in our life that will help us. Look at Elizabeth and Mary. Mary got pregnant at a young age. It was not as if she got pregnant because she was wayward. She got pregnant because there was a divine assignment. But she needed somebody that would understand that also was on a divine path to support her. So Elizabeth and Mary relationship is almost like a godmother. God, thank you. Pamela is a godmother for so many people. She's here. She's coming next week to talk as well in the Complete Woman series because she's one of the founding members of the Complete Woman Network that I run. So at the end of the day, I have seen people benefit. Go to the Bible, look at Ruth. And Naomi. That was a mother-in-law.
Yes.
That became a kinsman redeemer in the sense that through her, she was able to marry Boaz, and then the story changed. They were both widows. But somebody was there to hold her hands to say, okay. And thank God for Naomi allowing her, because she tried driving her in the first place. Like, you go. I don't have any child to give you. I don't have anything. But at the end of the day, it went well. And I can give stories upon stories. Women truly helping women. We're in a group with that name. Women helping and supporting, encouraging women. Okay? So that's why we're here, because a lot of ladies are going through life alone, going through things alone. I have mentors. Some of them I don't show. And it's not because I don't want to show them out, because sometimes the godmother thing leads to drama, leads to envy, leads to jealousy, leads to a lot of people talking. So there's that part of it. So sometimes you keep some people eating, but those that have followed me a long while, I bring them into that circle of the people I'm feeding from to say, see the way, see the person I'm learning from, see the person I'm growing with. And that's how I connect as well. So let me keep quiet now and give you time. Timile, ask your question, because you have level of older women. So it's like I am there, she's there, and you are there, and some other people are coming after you. So take the question away. Let's hear.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Miss Falakim. What I think stands out to me from both of you is the grace, because I'll call it a grace, to be able to identify that early enough in life. It's made it a lot easier. And just like you said, most people, even people from my generation, they still think being a godmother is just, oh, this person is my child's godmother. You get that quote and unquote rich auntie vibe, just to be there, the one that calls you, the one that that does that. But so many people don't know the responsibility that actually comes with being a godmother. So I will appreciate you, Ma, to speak more on that. for somebody who is looking to be a godmother, or even wants to get a godmother, what are the character traits they should look out for? And for someone that wants to be a godmother, what is the responsibility that actually comes with being a godmother?
Yeah, you're so right, because the world we live in also, you tread with caution. You tread, and I will start by saying there was this particular prayer I started praying years back. I think it's in Jeremiah, where it was clear that God will bring me to my own people and bring my own people to me. That prayer is very important, because when it comes to godmother, you are bringing somebody is more in spiritually inclined. For me, it's not mentorship. You know, mentorship, your godmother can be your mentor, but your mentor cannot be your godmother. It's a two different thing entirely. And for you as a godmother, you can decide, okay, I want a godmother, you know, that will just face your life as a woman, who teaches you identity, who teaches you confidence, wisdom, emotional intelligence. And it's not necessary that your godmother will be everything to you, because the truth of it is that your godmother also, depending on the limits of knowledge that she has, that is how far she can take you, you know. And for you can be a wife, and you needed someone that who have navigated marriage with grace, not someone whose advice comes from social media or does not even have an understanding of what you are going through, you know. So you need somebody that understands that aspect, that okay, for example, a lot of times I was talking to somebody, I said, Mama B will tell you at the time when she was nurturing her kids and all that, and she will tell you she was not a full housewife. I can't forget. She will tell you she was a domestic goddess. And that word sink into me. And even when I want to advise someone that maybe family pressure, even though I've never been somebody that was in the house and all that, and I want to teach anybody, maybe there's a prayer that you need to stay in the house, and you know, I will tell you, yes, you can. See, because for me, I did not experience that, but don't forget, I've drank from someone that have experienced that and how she navigated it, and I'm able to also learn from it. I have another godmother, Pastor Hilda Unko. She's a corporate governance expert, and she's the president of Society of Corporate Governance. And I remember with how fast she has grown, and the day she told me that she had to sit at home for 10 years nurturing her kids, I was like, how? And you are already here. And she told me something. She said, Folakemi, at the time when she needed to nurture, she did not feel like she was wasting time. She thought it was a course for her, you know, and that the only thing that she will always say is that don't stop. It is okay to pause and do other things, but don't stop in life, because as a mother, you are also mothering. It's still work. So we should not see it as, do you understand? So if you want that kind of godmother, it can face you as a mother, as a wife, it's fitting. And if it's career, to someone who has worked your professional path, understand leadership, understand excellence, understand integrity and influence. And you ask me that, what is the characteristics of maybe you want to have a godmother? Because the truth of it is that you also need to be careful. If you want to, you must also be humble enough to want somebody to take that space. It's not just the reigning thing. You know, because a godmother must be able to speak truth to you with love. You know, the Bible says that they were naked and they were not ashamed. The couple, the same thing also. Somebody that you can speak with without having any like, okay, let me hold this part back so that you won't hear my word outside. Is somebody that you know that she's also matured enough and spiritually inclined. Because it is very important. Because see, life, you mentioned about jealousy. Life is in a way that if you are, let me say, goddaughter, it's very possible for you to grow more than your godmother.
Very true, and it's allowed.
Do you understand? So does the godmother has the spiritual caution not to lead it to envy or jealousy or blackmail or what did they, my mom used to call this thing witchcraft, that when you is it blackmail, when somebody love you so much and you are using
Manipulation.
manipulation,
Yes,
exactly.
it's witchcraft actually.
It's witchcraft. My mom always call it witchcraft.
It's witchcraft. Yeah.
Manipulation. Do you understand? So that is why that it is very important that the person must be spiritually inclined to also, so you, that's something that you also pray about, especially when you have grown also to get one. And every godmother points you to God, not to herself.
Yeah.
Not to herself. And that is why I said that it's not a mentorship kind of thing. You know, because spiritually the person is there, you are even in face of life, so you are looking at character, you are using consistency, wisdom, integrity, the fruits of the spirit, love, the genuine love. You know, someone that even when things are going well, you can share. Even you know there are people that when things are not going well with you, they are happy.
Yeah.
Because you are able to cry, they are able to cry with you, they are able to pray for you. But you see, when you started growing, they are not happy because they think that you don't need them. And that is why it is very important that we choose spiritually, we choose with prayer, and also, you know, we just pray that God bring good people to our life, because the truth of it is that God don't leave us like orphans. God don't. God always place people at every point in time in our life. So it's for us to be discerning, to know these people, so that we don't also be too familiar that we take the relationship for granted. It is very, see, in this journey of life, I a lot of times when my mama, Pastor Sarah, and we are talking, the thing, I just put myself back, like, no, we are talking like this, but this is my spiritual mother, and I need to, you know, that reverence must be there, so that I don't lose out, even in the joke and the gist, I'm learning. You know, and it is also very important for you that you are the godchild too. You are teachable, like I said, humility. You are teachable, you ask questions, you respect boundaries, you value correction. I've seen a lot of times that I will be going like this, so maybe, and you will see this one, like, your spiritual life, where are you? Because, you know, as a career person, when you are already on that journey, you need somebody to speak sense to you, because God that brought you this far should not doubt be at the back end. You know, so we also, and even in that, also express gratitude. I'm a person that, see, a godchild express gratitude. You give not out, not as minute as anything. Because, see, you honor. Even anybody around me, honor people that are pouring to you, however small it is. You know, and because it's you are more blessing yourself, you are praying for yourself than even the person. Even sometimes the person may not even say God bless you, but see, that is an instruction. It is for your own good. You know, and like I said, there will be a place for mentorship if the person has the capacity to also mentor you in other areas. All well and good, but you should know the one that God, this is where the person fits in, and enjoy it throughout. So I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah, you have, and you brought up something, humility. Humility, okay? Just reading through the Bible and seeing the story of Apostle Paul and Timothy. Because Paul, we all know, did not really get married, but he had sons in the Lord. Timothy was one of them, and he explained, talking about Timothy, his lineage, his mother, his grandmother, and their lineage. And one thing I would say, that's humility, knowing that this person has taken you up. People I call Godman, they are not even related to me. I have my marriage mentor that is like a apart from being a spiritual mentor, she's also like a mother. I have a ministry mentor that
Yeah.
has been nurtured me spiritually. That if I say,
Yeah.
oh, I hear. Yes, as a child, I developed myself to have hearing ears. But by the time I met her as well, it was a different level.
Yeah.
Teaching and grooming. Do you understand? So I tell people sometimes you're like, oh, are you not growing? And they are not your parents, and they are not. So it's not like you were saying, not mentorship. It's more of discipleship.
Yeah.
For me, until
Yeah.
Christ
Yeah.
is formed in you. If I say you are my
Yeah.
goddaughter, when some people, one time a brother of mine actually called me, said, you have some daughters around you. You call them daughter, but they don't have your heart. Oh. He said they don't have, they just, is the glamour of what you are doing. They don't have the kind of
That they
heart.
love.
They don't know what you do, the things you, the principles.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
said they catch it. Some of them will not be where they are.
Yeah.
He said they just want to, I know Mrs. Election, oh, I know this. It's the things you are doing and they are more interested in. They are not catching your spirit.
Yeah.
I had to
You're
go
right.
back home to question myself. Because I just said, am I showing a glamorous part that people are not seeing the hard work,
The work.
the prayers, the
Yeah.
work, and he says
Yeah.
show workings. They are not seeing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it
You're
takes
right.
humility. I follow people once I'm loyal to a fault. That some people will think this one is a mumu. I don't mind because within me, and I keep telling people, I'm not following godmothers because my mom is a wicked woman or I was not brought up by a good mom. No.
Yeah.
My mom is still alive, sweet woman, taught me a lot,
Yeah.
but my path is different in the sense that right from time I've been big on mentoring, on learning from people. Like the Titus 2 women say, the older, train the younger ones, teach them how to be temperate, how to do things. So
Yeah.
I learned that way. So it's the humility to learn, humility to be scolded, humility to serve. Some of us don't know what it is to serve. When we're talking about gifts and everything, one time, this was my godfather, I was just laughing. And he said something. He said, if I come to Nigeria, you will buy me something. If you come to America, you will buy me something. I've not become, the way I said it was like I've not become like somebody obtaining, like,
Yeah.
he used the word, I don't want to use it. I don't want to use that word. Like people in uniform that will ask you anything for the boys or something. He was not saying it. He said, that's what I'm not becoming. I said, no, that is not like that. It's a thing of joy.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be able to. And if you read through the Bible, you mentioned Mordecai when you were talking.
Yeah.
And that is the godfather that understands.
So Esther, yeah.
When Esther got in, she had somebody. Hey, guy, the guy that taught her, perfumed her, did everything, taught her what to take at the end of the day, that she became the prefect.
Yeah.
That was a man as well. So why are we having this conversation? We need role models. We need sponsors. We need door openers. We need advisors. We need people, friends, peers, people that will help us along our journey through life. And most of us are not taking advantage of it because we are prideful.
All scared.
Scared because, yes, maybe we should speak to that scared part. Having a bad experience, because you talked about God, the jealousy is real. Look at Saul and David.
Yeah.
By the time Saul knew that David was anointed, he went after him.
Yes.
So sometimes you have some godmothers really going after people because you know that this child's star is bright. We don't pray for such evil ones. But let's speak to that because you use that word, they're scared. So speak to that, and then Timileyin, your next question for her.
Okay.
Yeah, like I said, one of the greatest tests of godmother is whether she can celebrate your growth without feeling threatened by it. And a genuine godmother understand that our assignment also is to create copies of ourselves. It's not to create copies of ourselves, rather, but to raise women, like you mentioned, that you have a mentor for this, and it's not like the godmother is replacing your mom. It's expansion of knowledge because of the purpose of God for you. So the godmother is raising a woman who may even surpass her. So a candle does not lose anything by lighting another candle at all. So only if the godmother understand that. And that is why, when I mentioned earlier that the prayer that will make that God will bring us to our own people and bring our own people to us is very important. And when you notice like there is a sign of jealousy and you are sure that God has really brought this particular person to your life, you also need to pray about it. To decipher what you are feeling, if the feeling is also genuine, because a lot of times we also need to check our own work as well, so that we also don't judge somebody else wrongly. And so, but if you are convinced that this person is threatened by you or is envious, and then discourage yourself and take a step backward. Become distant and retrace your step, because it's also very important that you are in a safe place. And Mama B, you mentioned service, and sorry, one of the best, anytime I'm volunteering anywhere, I would say, what will Mama B do in these circumstances? You are one of the people, one selfless being. Like, I remember when we met at Calgary in 3 months ago, I was talking to my friend, just giving my friends the feedback about you and everything. I said, you see that woman? She can serve. I said, when people say, Folakemi, you serve. And I said, no, me, I dey play with these people. And that is one of the things that beyond the marriage and how far you've taken me, I believe that's one of the attributes. And it's not like you taught me this. I saw it. I saw how you serve people genuinely. And so it's not a matter of just talking and, it's talk and do. And the same way I will also talk about Pastor Sarah. When I became the welfare secretary of NBA Ikeja branch, and for the first time in the history of Ikeja for almost 40 years, they've never had a peaceful election. And especially for a secretary position, it has always been a serious contested one. And I became the secretary-elect unopposed. Everybody that came out, drop it unopposed, that if she's going, allow her to go. And I looked at my journey. One of the things that I learned from Pastor Sarah is excellence. She would tell you, when they give you small opportunity, it's an opportunity for you to showcase God, and God is excellent. So you cannot play mediocre. Do you understand? So when people, you see, do something like you feel like it's a normal thing, and people say, wow. But the truth of it is that that's one of the things that it has been screwed in my head. I was like, you cannot be, spirit of excellence must be there. You cannot just go unprepared to places that God, or opportunities that God has created for you. And that is one thing that the part of, and like I said, a godmother can also be your mentor, because when your mentor also is a spiritual person, it will also take you through that journey of life. And that is why you must just choose rightly. So you are not choosing a godmother, a mentor, because this person is beautiful. There are a lot of people they want to be associated with the name. She's one of the. She's one of the. She's one of the. So the motive is even wrong from the beginning. So our motive must be right. Why am I here? If I don't talk to Mama B for 1 year, I don't have a doubt that she has my best interest at heart. And I believe that she won't have that doubt about me. Do you understand? Like, if you have anything that is like, Mama B has done, you heard something, I should be bold enough to be like, no, that is not who she is, or that is not who I know her. And that is the point of God. That is one of the things that the establishment of everybody, the godmother and the goddaughter, to know that, okay, this is who this person is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the it's not just you know, our priorities now is different.
Mm.
People want to be associated with the happening things,
Yeah.
forgetting that the life journey is a spiritual journey.
Jeez.
See, everything that we do is a spiritual journey, and for you to be able to understand where you are going in life, it will
Yeah.
help you away from a lot of distractions. Because there are things that we just but see, if you understand where you are going, you know, you will know the kind of people that you are even on your path.
Yeah.
So a lot of people always believe that I have my life all together. Glory be to God. And because you can't take it,
Yeah.
you can't take it away that
Yeah.
God has a plan. But sincerely,
Yeah.
it's because of the people that God has put in my life.
Yeah.
I'm also being conscious that, okay, this is where I'm going. And these people, when they know that I'm not doing whatever, they call me. Where are we? What are we doing? I remember when we met in Calgary, I was telling you about my plans in the next 4 years,
Yeah.
Mama B. Now this is where I'm going. This is my plan. And you mentioned that, okay, if you get to those points and you need me to talk to this point, reach out to me. That is how it is. That is how journey is. And you know, when we were talking, you mentioned about what's it called, Mordecai and Esther.
Esther, yeah.
You look at when Mordecai wouldn't have been able to do anything if she does not understand the purpose Esther is supposed to serve.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and they wouldn't, of course, that's God may have revealed or whatever, but it may also have been that they've talked, he knows where Esther, he knows the projection, and his own duty is to make sure that that is fulfilled.
Yeah.
And that is why you cannot just today you are selling corn, tomorrow is boutique, next tomorrow is AI, next other tomorrow is tech you want to do. Where are we going? Because if God has placed people in your life, don't also confuse them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's when your journey is straight that they can help you. Because God always creates help for us. And the same way we understand that the place of the Holy Spirit is to guide us, the place of the Holy Spirit also is to make sure that when we see people that God has put in our lives, we are able to open up to them. You know, I was talking to my husband like last year, because there was a particular book I told Mama B that I'm writing. Of course, I'm supposed to have finished this book, but I'm still on a journey about career women and fulfilled marriage.
Yeah.
And why I was just writing the book and everything, I asked, why is it that people say that I don't bring third people? Don't, you know, when you get married, don't listen to third party, or just you and your husband, or and all those kind. And I said, see, there is an exception.
Yeah.
But that exception is good people, spiritual inclined people,
Yeah.
people that God has put. Because see, marriage journey on its own has its own godo. It's just like when you are in a turbulence, then you are stable. You have a turbulence again, you are stable.
Yeah.
When you have one turbulence, don't think you don't arrive. Another one is waiting for you. It's not a course. That is life.
That's the normal phenomenon.
That is the normal thing. So who are the people that are holding your hands? Who are the people that God has put in, that are holding you at that point in time? So I also want to bring this conversation that at a point in time, too, you as a goddaughter, you will also hold your godmother's hand.
Very true.
There will be a point like that. So it's not a selfless journey that you must be deliberate about and intentional about. You know, a lot of times I feel like when people want to come to my life and I see that they really want to come to my life, especially because they feel, oh, this girl, you know, if I feel like this person has been consistent and I see, you will know that this person really wants to be part of your life. I will sit you down. That do you really want to? I see this, that you wanted this. And I said, okay, why? I will ask that question.
Yeah.
Because you don't bring people that are their motive are not their business,
Right.
more
Yeah.
of what I can get, what I can do, what I can, And see, the truth of it is that how you when Mama B was talking, he talked about sponsors too. Sincerely, in the journey of life, even as a woman, you need all those people. There will be a time in your life that your skills, your exposure will take you here. Is some people, the next stage that where God is taking you to, is people that you need, sponsors.
Yeah.
And that is why when people think you can do life alone, you cannot do life alone.
Never.
See, I have one mentality when I was still very young. I would say, God, I just want to grow up, have a good family, let us be comfortable, let us have money. But God changed my orientation. What is comfortable? The earth is the Lord and his fullness thereof.
Yeah.
So who are the people that should have the wealth? They are the children of God. So why should I just be in a place of being comfort? That is poverty mentality as a child of God. So that is why we should also understand that as a child of God, we need to take ourselves to a level where when God, you move, and when you get to a level, the next key to that level is sponsors, people.
The gifts of men.
The gift of men, which is what money cannot buy.
Yeah.
Money. See, I was invited to speak at a conference, I think like 3 years ago, like a TEDx law related conference. And everybody on that seat was they were all senior advocates of Nigeria. And the only person, it was two of us that were not senior advocates of Nigeria. The other person also works in one of the top tier law firms in Nigeria. And I had to call the organizers. Why am I on this panel? What did you people see? But you see,
Diligence. Diligence took you there. Yeah.
Yes, but see, one of the things that I learned after that conference is that people watch you.
Yeah.
And those relationships that you are building, they will take you to the next level.
Yeah.
I tell you, most people that we spoke together on that panel, that on a normal day, they were not in my social network. Now they are. Now they are my social network. And even the person that brought me to that panel, the convener, and also how those people relate with me, was like, Kenny, is it that you've met them before? Is it the same conference? Because like I'm now these people's friend. And
someone opened the door, Kemi, but you walked in knowing yourself and your purpose. Because sometimes opportunities are given that people will mess up, and then they will still expect you. For me, a good name is better. I want to preserve my name. Integrity for me is very key. So after opening the door, imagine you going to spoil her name or do something else. How would the person feel?
See, and that is why people should understand that crediting woman social and woman network
Capital,
is the best capital that you can do for yourself. I was listening to, I think it was a reels today by this owner of Coach Charis, and he mentioned on today, I was just on a post, somebody's status, and he mentioned that if you have money somewhere and you walked up to him and you said you wanted to buy a car of 45 million and that you will pay next week, that he won't give. But if you are in his store and that a Range Rover, he mentioned one cash 450 million, and you were in his store and Dangote called him, that is my friend. He will give you that money next month. He said he won't blink.
Yeah.
But it
True
is.
He said
that.
that is social capital.
Mhm.
That you may even be nobody, even if you have just walked up in palm slippers and all that.
Yeah.
He said that is social capital. But people don't know how to credit their social capital.
Mm.
And this is something that people should learn. And by the grace of God, I will always say something that's one thing that money social capital have opened to me what money cannot buy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've had people that in the legal profession that I needed their, not even me needing their help, somebody needed their help and I was there. And they were trying to look at how they would talk to him and all that. And I said, I know this person that I can. So I sent a message, sir, I will need to speak with you if you are free. Immediately the person called me.
Mm.
And while we were in the meeting, and I was like, sir, I'm in a meeting now, but we needed your help in this meeting. The funniest part, I said, can I put you on speaker? He said, Fola, can do anything for you. So they needed him like 3 days time to come and do something. And he said he has booked his flight to go to New York. But Fola Kemi cannot ask me for something and I will refuse. And everybody on that table looked at me like, how do you do this thing? And he showed up, not anyhow, showed up well, without these people paying 1 naira. And you see, you just like, this thing is not it's not a rocket science. You don't call people, your godmother is not somebody that you be calling, ma, please, I'm broke, come and borrow me money. No, that is not what they are meant for. And when they don't give you the money, you are feeling bad.
Rule of
You see your
engagement.
godmother,
Yeah. Some people don't understand that. Yeah.
yes, yeah, you see them as meal tickets. No, you don't misplace and they are not your friend in the contest. They are not your friend, so don't misuse that opportunity. So it is very important that we just understand boundaries and just do things right. So that's just what I would say.
Thank you. We're learning. I'm taking down notes as you're talking. Always learning.
Even me, I will listen to this later too.
I play record. That's the one fear I had. If I say, let me just leave it, I want to download, I find out that sometimes it will not agree to like leave and just save it and come on again. So what I've been doing is save it as reels so that at least some will be saved for 30 minutes. That's what I've been doing. That's why I tell people, just join us live so that way we have it there. Because I don't know what is happening to the algorithm, but most times once you want to save, it's not willing to save. And then I try to download. It will tell me it's not ready to download and everything. So I just like save as real is always my option now. So I have something to show that at least you were here. But it's worth listening to. I've had so much time to learn. I believe there's a rule of engagement in having God parents, godmother, even God sisters, God brothers. I am big on relationship. I think I was actually created for relationship. I know how to. We continue where we stopped anytime we meet. So I tell people, my real friends are not accusers. They are not the devil. They are not people that will like, oh, you've done, because you don't know what I'm going through. I might be looking pretty. You don't know what I am dealing with. So when we see, we continue, because really life is hard enough. Not to talk of you now adding accusation to it. My godparents might not ask. One of them, my ministry mentor, was a few days ago. She just called that you've been on my mind, and we just started talking and talking and talking. She prayed. I was just like, wow, this woman. There's a way she just knows how to bless me. Is it my
You are sounding far away.
Oh, am I? I don't know what happened. My earpiece went
Yeah.
off. So I had to, let me try it again. Is it better?
Still
Can you
the
hear me
same.
better now? Oh, my video did not come. This
Okay, it's
Very
broadcast.
good.
That's what is
better
happening.
now.
I don't know what is happening. Oh, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
it's
we
Is
hear
better
it
you.
better
now.
now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Good, good. Let me try and see if I can increase the volume here. Okay. So, as I was saying, even with my marriage mentors, we have time to gist, to talk,
Mm.
and just spend time talking.
Yeah.
And like I tell people, that's see finish. I don't do it with anybody.
Yeah.
I don't do it with anybody. So we must understand that there's a rule of engagement
Mm.
so that the relationship that is supposed to bless you will bless you
Mm.
and not be a pain to you eventually.
Mm.
So that's one thing. So in
Yeah.
conclusion, I want her to ask one last question, and
Um,
then yes,
I
we
think
can we can conclude.
the Spirit of God is actually one, because
Yeah.
you've spoken briefly on what I wanted to talk about, which is setting boundaries.
Yeah.
Because especially my generation, sorry, we like to overdo things sometimes. Some people just, for the fun of access, I have access to this person, so that people know
Mm.
that this person is just in my network. And like I said earlier,
Yeah.
some are just there for the meal ticket, somebody I can call when I need something, just spoil me silly.
Yeah.
That is what having a godmother is to some people.
Mm.
But how do, for someone that is looking for a healthy godmother goddaughter relationship, how do we establish clear boundaries? Where do we draw the line? I said that, oh, you mentioned something earlier that your godmother is not your friend. How do we
Mm.
draw that? Where exactly do we draw the line?
Okay. It is very the relationship is the same. The same thing also applies to your friends. Like Mama B was talking about godly sisters. True. You know, I have soul sisters. I have two soul sisters that are very important to me. That I believe that God brought them to my life. But setting healthy boundaries is built on love, is built
Mm.
on respect, truth, you know, boundaries are not walls that keep people out, but they set
Mm,
guidelines and keep relationship in check. So the purpose of the relationship, so you're supposed to know what's the purpose of this our relationship.
mm,
Why is this woman in my life? Why is
Mm.
Mama B in my life?
Mm.
What am I hoping to learn from her?
mm,
What role has God called her to play in my life?
mm,
When you are able to ask yourself those questions, then it helps you on how you relate with her. A
Mm.
godmother is supposed to be your
mm,
guide and not a
mm,
replacement of God, of course. It's not a
Mhm.
replacement of your spouse. It's not a
mm,
replacement of your parents. Mama B
Mm.
mentioned that, you know, not a replacement of professional counselors, you know, or your
mm,
therapists, but everyone
Mm.
has their unique role, you know. So when you are able to ask those questions and answer it yourself genuinely,
Mm.
then you don't expect everybody to be your godmother. Don't
Yeah.
expect one woman to meet every of your need, you
mm,
know. So because no one can be your spiritual mother, your career coach, your marriage counselor, your financial advisor, your emotional support, that alone can be very draining,
mm,
you know.
Yeah.
So respect time and personal space as well.
mm,
Healthy relationship is built on respect, boundaries.
mm,
So that means that don't expect when you want them, then you get them immediately.
mm,
It is very important. Schedule meetings. Can I be able to speak with you? I try as much as possible. The same way, if you are in my life, even my employees, my
Mm.
colleagues in the office, I will tell them to see. We can play, oh, but we need to respect
but
ourselves.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, schedule meetings instead of just demanding access. Can I,
Mm,
ma, please, I want to speak with you tomorrow if it's convenient. But if it's not
Mm.
convenient, ma, let me know the time that'll be convenient for you so that I can things like that. If it's urgent,
mm,
ma, please, it's urgent. if I can get to speak with you earlier. There's how you react and, just take out these things. Then learn to receive correction without taking offense. It is very hard, sincerely, depending on the correction. Do you understand? It is very hard depending on the correction. But the truth of it is that for me, I said to something that I will not grow out of being corrected by God. And the only way I can be corrected is through people that God has placed before me. Because correction should lead to growth. When you know that at the back of everything that they are saying is for you to grow. So for example, I used to, I'm a worship leader, and in the last 1 year I had to stop choir. Why? Because I was struggling about, how choir can be so demanding and all that. And Pastor Sarah will just look at me. She's not saying anything, but I know that she's saying something. Like
eyes and looks are talking.
Like, where are we? We can't continue like this, But even with her look, as a daughter, I know what she's saying. And in my head, I was like, Holy Spirit will help me. God, how can I navigate things? If I'm thinking I will get time, I won't get time because God will continue to take me higher. So I should also not forget my place of service. So consciously, I'm telling myself and I'm praying about it, because faithful are the ones of a friend. The truth. Hey, there's a feedback. So I'm getting a feedback. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear it now. But it's still clear.
Okay, so another place of boundary is avoid emotional dependence. The one on LD sign about this is, if you make a decision, you don't take a decision without your godmother approval. That is not what they are meant for. Because if you are not careful, you will depend on them a lot.
Instead of God,
Instead of God.
Yeah.
You understand? A good godmother equips you to hear God's voice and make wise decision. They said they behold the mirror so that we can be like the image of God. They lead us to Christ. So every decision should be from God, not from them. Of course, they have to point us to God, so we don't become dependent on them. So that is very, very important, because if you are not careful, they will be over. They are also women. So, when they say women of God, they are still women, they are not God.
Before they are God. God. Very true.
So we should also be careful. So that's one way also for setting boundaries. Then communicate honestly. Why am I saying? If something hurts you, don't assume. Before, because I'm an empath and I'm an emotional person, things get to me. And I know that I lost some relationship early in life before I got married, because I couldn't own up to my emotions and find out. So, but one of the things that I'm very good in messages, in typing, when you hurt me, I may not be able to face you. Even in my marriage, my husband I'll send a long, even when we are in the same house, send a long message. So sometimes he will just read the message and come downstairs. Madam, what's up? But I know that if I'm to say it, I will miss out on some things. There are some things you want to add. So I will type it out. So it is very important for you to also know what works for you. So communicate honestly. A healthy relationship grow through honest communication. If you think that there's how your godmother spoke with you, like, mama, there's something that you said, this is not what happened, but I think you judged me wrongly, then she also will be like, oh, sorry, or anyhow she wanted to handle it. So those are the ways that I believe that you can set boundaries in your relationship.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. We have been schooled. We have learned, we have grown, and honestly, I will say it. I will say it. I have been blessed to have
Same here.
loyal, faithful people around me
Mm.
that has blessed me. You are one of them. You're
Thank you,
one of
mom.
them. And I've had others that, like I was talking to somebody one time, I said, there are some people in my life, if they tell me, Bridget, jump, I'm asking how high. I also have those kind of people that when I tell
Yeah.
them jump, they ask me how high.
Now, hi.
Yeah.
Why? Because like begets like.
Mm.
Yeah.
But one thing we must know is the God factor.
Yeah.
That God factor. Not everybody. That prayer you said now, I've not prayed it in a long while. But as you said it, I said, God, give me my own. Because your own is
Yes.
different from our own.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's different from our own. So we really need to pray and say, God, our own. So
Yeah.
I keep telling people, with this relationship, especially for the younger generation, that's why I'm happy for Timilane. It's like you will almost be like me, and for Lakemi, you will grow old. Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
He's saying that when people see you,
I'm
come
looking
like,
forward. I'll connect with her very
oh, please
after this.
connect with her. She's a darling. She's somebody you need to meet.
Okay.
So at the end of the day, what are we doing? We're deliberately
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
putting relationship together. I was talking
Yeah.
Yeah.
with our daughter recently, and all of us were actually talking, and they said, oh, the quality of friends and people you have, that
Mm-hmm.
they want to start having such quality of friends, people
Yeah.
who we brought into their lives that have become like big sister, that have become people, mentors, and co. It's
Mm.
important
Yeah.
that we grow with people. So
Yeah.
today we're talking. The general overseer of godmothers is here, giving you thumbs up. Mama Indi, the godmothers. Mama
I
Indi,
was
yes,
thinking, yes. I
the
saw her on
godmothers.
big group, yes.
When I was thinking of this topic, it was you and her that came to my mind, you know. And believe you me, I am glad you could make it. I'm
Thank
glad
you,
you have
mom.
schooled us. I'm glad I have learned so much
I'm
from
happy to be here.
having you in my corner and being in your own
Thank you,
corner.
mom. Thank you,
I'm
mom.
so glad. And believe you me, the sky cannot limit you. The
Yes.
sky
Mm-hmm.
cannot limit. You're going very far. And just keep being yourself. Keep understanding the things that you're doing, and keep doing what you are doing. It's getting resolved because of honor. So
Yeah.
please, let's not forget honor. When you have a
Thank you,
mentor,
mom.
you have a coach, you have a godmother, a god sister, a god brother,
Yes.
whoever,
Yeah.
remember
Yeah.
to honor them. It's very,
Yes.
very important. So on that note, we are done, but we always give word for the final word. So final word from Timilane and then from you, and we'll wrap this up. Final word.
Okay.
Timilane, what's your final
Thank
word?
you very
What
much.
have you
It's
learned? What are
been
you taking away?
what am I everything with my two hands. Everything. What I'm taking away is that honestly, getting that opportunity early in life
Mm,
saves a lot of stress.
Yeah.
mm,
Yeah.
A whole lot of stress because just like you said, it's human currency. There are
yeah.
places that your skill, your experience, your exposure will take you to, and you just need that person that will just unlock that door. That is it for me. And what I'm taking away is to intentionally, emphasis on intentionally, build
Mm.
that relationship and nurture it, not just
Mm,
have it there, but very intentional about nurturing it, and
Yeah.
also grow myself to also be able to pour into others, people that are coming behind me as well.
Yeah.
So that
mm.
is those are my key takeaways from this session. And my final word to those that are watching, if you're on this live, you're coming to this video, is not a mistake. I'm very sure that there is something here for you, no matter how
Mhm.
little. So
Yeah.
either you're looking to get a godmother for your child, for your children,
Mm,
start now. Do it
yeah.
now. Do it now. And if you're somebody that is scared to be a godmother, you know that you have what it takes to point to others, but you're just scared because of the responsibility, the accountability. Do it, because at the end of the day, we all want to live a life of legacy.
Yeah.
My goal is to die empty, not come
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
empty myself here and pour into
Yeah.
others. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
it for me.
Thank you. Thank you. So over to you for Lakemi.
That's so deep. Oh, that's so deep. And my final word today is that no woman was created to do life alone.
Very true.
At every stage of our lives, God puts people around us to encourage us, correct us, challenge us, cheer us on. And it's the wisdom to recognize those people and allow the relationship to shape us into the women that God has really planned us that will be. And when we now become that woman, don't stop there. Also invest in people.
Yeah.
Don't now start competing, guide other people so that they can also pay it forward. And see, I always say something that if you are, even in my little corner, I said, if you are a bad person, you will change. Because I'm deliberate about nurturing, deliberate about mentoring young people, especially with this our new generation. So our greatest legacy will never be the title we hold or the wealth we accumulate or the applause that we get along the way, but every life that we have touched, every women that we have lifted, nurtured, and the next generation that we are building. So I trust that for people that will be watching this, we don't just see it as one of the things that is being shared on social media. You should see that something that can empower you to take you to the next level and also to be a seed to other people that will be coming after you. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and sincerely, Mama B and Timileyin, thank you for inviting me. I felt so blessed. Like talking is like bringing so much memory to me of where I'm coming from and where I am. Thank you a lot. I'm grateful.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. It's been such an amazing, amazing time. And to everyone, go and assess your relationship. Hi, somebody saying, Coach B, hi. Daughter of the Most High, how are you? I will check out the person later. But thank you so much for joining us. What we try to do here every week is to just help people learn, grow, and do better. So that's what we're doing. And today I've been blessed. Like the other days, it's always been packed full. And for me, my last word will be just like everybody has said, we're leaving a legacy of goodness, okay? So please assess yourself. Who are you being a blessing to? Who are you a God sister, a God friend, a God mother to? And who are yours? Because you cannot do life alone. Learn to do life with people. And sometimes they will offend you. Please don't be offended. Life is like the tongue and the teeth, just like marriage and every relationship. You will hurt each other, but you still need each other to chew and grow. Okay? So thank you, ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank
Have
you.
a good night, good evening, good afternoon.
Night.
Bye. Love you all. Thank you.
Love you.
Thank you.